We will now look at some components of a peace education curriculum. If peace education is to be taught, we have to know what we are going to teach, or what should we be teaching as peace education. Emotions and feelings is important for young people to understand. Emotions and feelings, and how do you deal with them, how do you control them, how do you don't burst into an emotional outburst. Anger and anger management, and especially today, we get angry very easily. Well, what is it that makes us angry? Understanding that, and then managing anger. How do you control anger without showing it out in public? Violence in the media is a critical thing to teach young people today. The media is filled with violence. If that's all young people see and they don't understand the difference between violence and non-violence, and non-violence, unfortunately, is not very prominently shown on media today. So to help young people see the difference is important. Communication, of course, we've said it more than once. If we can't communicate, we will not be able to achieve peace. Empathy, which is not the same as sympathy. Empathy is simply understanding someone from that individual's perspective, is important in a peace education program. Cooperation, we must cooperate, we must share, we must work together, we must be included within a group and thereby move along on the way to peace. Self-esteem, self-worth, self-ego, looking at your own self, understanding your own place and position in this life is important. Tolerance, again, the same thing, finding unity in diversity, tolerating differences, working around differences, ignoring, avoiding differences, or finding a way around them, some way. Conflict resolution, because conflicts will happen. We are humans. Our nature makes us get into conflicts, and then they will need to be resolved. Keeping safe. Safety and security, especially today, is becoming a big issue. So how do we teach young people to be safe and secure in their own neighborhoods, and from there stretching out in the entire world? How emotions affect behavior. Not just looking at emotions, but how a certain emotion affects behavior. If I'm frustrated, what do I tend to do? If I'm excited and happy, what do I tend to do? If I'm sad, what do I tend to do? Understanding that relationship, that connection is critical. The effect of violence on the emotions and feelings of children, especially when this happens at home. When parents don't act like adults in front of children, their children's emotions and feelings can be affected. Children can learn a lot from the negativity they see. They are not necessarily part of the negativity, but they see that negativity in their families, at their homes, and they learn a lot from there. So how do you treat children that come from homes that are conflict-ridden? How do you help children overcome that conflict? And how do you educate parents to not do those kind of negative things in front of children so that their lives are not negatively affected? As adults, we have a responsibility towards our children. Whether as parents at home, whether as teachers in school, we owe something to our next generation that is positive, that will help them lead a better life for themselves.